Jedi Survivor has recently come to Boosteroid, and since I never got around to covering it on OnePlay, I decided to compare the game on their enhanced tier that only goes to 1080p. And since Boosteroid currently only goes to 1080p as well, this should be a great way to compare the game on equal terms. Let's see how they perform. Now I'll first start on Boosteroid since it's brand new. There has been a number of updates to the game since launch, but can Boosteroid still play the game well? On loading the game, shaders have to be rendered. This took several minutes. Now on to the graphics, and if you've seen my other reviews for the game, please know that the game will save the graphics settings you set and will not recalibrate them if you load the game on a different machine. So initially, I had the shadow power upgrade settings at 4K set here, and the performance is obviously terrible. Unfortunately, the EA app does not have an FPS counter and it overrides the Steam permissions, so there is no in-game FPS counter to get the actual frames. But we can tell it's terrible. Now I adjust the settings to 1080p and low all around, and I can't go any lower. This is how Boosteroid runs the game. I'm testing at Kobo since this is one of the most demanding areas of the game. Initially, you can tell it's not good, but it's not terrible either. I guess it all depends on your definition of terrible. Now I wish I could get an actual reading because Boosteroid's stream stats will always say 60, which is highly misleading. But by the looks of things, the game FPS looks no higher than 40, and that's being generous. It's probably mid-30s on average and even lower at the outpost. Honestly, I was expecting better.
Not feeling so great, BD.
But you also might be saying that everyone has problems at Kobo. And this is true, but this is also why I wanted to compare Boosteroid to the OnePlay Enhanced tier, and you'll see why. Now OnePlay is only available in India at the moment, but I can't wait for them to come to the West. The Enhanced tier is comparable to Boosteroid as a 1080p tier. Now as I load the game, shaders were also a thing and took several minutes as well. Now remember that I said that the graphic settings don't change, so my Boosteroid settings are still intact. With the FPS stats on, you can see that the OnePlay Enhanced tier hits 60 with no problem. So let's crank it up a notch and put the settings to medium. With medium settings, I get just under 60 FPS. Now ray tracing isn't on, plus frame generation is disabled by OnePlay due to crashing errors, but overall, this looks and runs well. All in all, I was very impressed, but this wasn't at the infamous outpost where frames go to die, so let's check that. Now as I do the runaround test at the cantina, I'm shocked that the FPS hovers around 50 for most of the time. Sure, there are some FPS drops, but this has to be one of the most impressive 1080p tiers to run this game so far. I really can't wait for OnePlay to come to the States. Now check out this side-by-side comparison of the same fight. Please forgive my gameplay on the OnePlay side. I had around 280 milliseconds of latency while playing. You know what? Never mind. It looks like I did just fine. So yeah, OnePlay wins here by a lot. And we didn't even have an FPS counter for Boosteroid. But this could all change once Boosteroid releases their 4K tier, and I'll be comparing the game again to the OnePlay Ultimate tier to have a rematch. In the meantime, if you're interested in signing up for either service, both links are located in the description. So if you like this comparison of the Boosteroid and the OnePlay Enhanced tier, give us a like. Also, make sure to join as a member of the channel or join our Patreon and our Discord in links below. And above all else, make sure to subscribe to keep it locked right here at the only place where you can do battle in gaming heaven, Cloud Gaming Battle.